This backyard is slip-sliding away.
Obviously, it's an erosion nightmare.
This is probably one of the worst yards we've ever seen on Groundbreakers. Crews try to turn the tide with a giant retaining wall and a natural boulder water feature. But in some places, the damage has already been done.
There's probably so much erosion going on under the deck that the hot tub itself is now leaning.
Workers will dig in, shake things up, and carve out something special to put this yard back on solid ground. I'm Justin Cave, and this is Groundbreakers. Do you know the old saying about when life gives you lemons, make lemonade? What if life just keeps throwing you lemons, and even more lemons? That's what today's project is all about, taking a bad situation and turning it into something beautiful. Let's get it started right now. Margie, you're having a serious erosion problem back here. I have to say, this is probably one of the worst yards we've ever seen on Groundbreakers, but it hasn't always been that way, and it's not your fault.
No, it definitely hasn't been that way. I bought the house 5 years ago. The builder next door, about 3 years ago, he came and he took all the woods out of this property, and he also took dirt away from it. By taking down all the trees and then taking out so much of the dirt, then it just created this massive water that when it comes down the hill, it just rolls over and it becomes Niagara Falls.
And it's washed everything out.
Yes, you can see that.
So she's called in landscape designer Todd Beasley to help her make the best of her bad situation.
Wow, what a huge problem for this backyard. I mean, it's obviously an erosion nightmare.
What's your solution?
We're going to put segmented block walls on either side of the bank. This will stop the erosion with a drainage system in each wall. Mm-hmm. Then we'll have a pondless water feature that'll come down the center of the project.
So the waterfall is going to be somewhere right in here?
Yes, it's going to shoot down the middle here and meander its way down to a patio area with a fire pit down at the base of the fall.
A new waterfall patio and fire pit are great, but none of it really matters if the eroding hillside isn't contained.
What we're going to do here is just going to be a segmented block wall, and each wall will dig down and dig our footing. Practically one block will be in the ground, and that'll hold everything together. Then we'll start building the wall from there, and there'll be 2 3-foot walls to terrace this bank down.
Why'd you go with a 2-tiered wall versus one solid wall?
Several reasons. One would be it's more attractive than looking at just one big wall. And 2, anything below 3 feet, we don't have to get into a lot of architectural plans and codes and things like that. So those 2 things played a part in why we decided to do the 2 3-foot walls.
The plants on the top side of the terrace wall are really going to help with the erosion also.
Yeah, definitely. Once these plants get in place and get established, that's the root systems will get down in the ground, and this will help with the erosion.
It'll slow down some of that runoff.
You got it. It'll slow down the runoff, and it will serve several purposes. 1, for the attractive look, and 2, for the erosion.
The erosion is so bad, in fact, not only is it causing a problem here, but down in this part of the yard.
Exactly. You can see the rivets in the yard from where the water just basically shoots down the yard. Creates a lovely stream on this side and has taken out all the grass and the dirt and the soil over here.
Right here too.
Well, yeah, and that's when I finally realized that there's probably so much erosion going on under the deck that the hot tub itself is now leaning.
Not only is it leaning, but it's leaning towards the house.
The house,
so there's so much water runoff, it's causing a problem underneath the deck.
Exactly.
Todd's plan includes a fix for the sinking spa too. They'll move the spa up 1 level, but lower it into the decking and support it from underneath on a concrete pad. It's a lot of work, all to solve a problem that someone else's carelessness has caused.
Trying to deal with this issue has been extremely frustrating. I'm just taking matters into my own hands now. I need to forcefully solve this erosion problem. I'm so excited to get the project started with Todd. It's going to look beautiful. I won't have to be embarrassed by this yard anymore. I'll enjoy the backyard even more.
Turn this nightmare into a dream.
Exactly. You know, like a lemon into lemonade.
Indeed. Todd and the crew start by laying out the new landscape, beginning with the big centerpiece of the whole plan.
The main thing, what I want to do is mark out where the water feature is going to be, and we've kind of got started on marking our walls. You can see here where we've got started doing that, and then just taking from our plan here and getting started, and then we'll let Hav get on the Mini X and start digging things back.
The Mini X is the mini excavator. The mini part is critical because the crew is working right on top of Margie's septic system. A full-size backhoe would certainly make the dig go faster, but the sheer weight could crush the septic system and cost thousands to fix. That's a good reminder to anyone tackling a landscape project. Have your underground utilities located before work starts to make sure there are no surprises. To learn more about using big boy toys like this on your next project, go to hgtv.com/groundbreakers and check out my video on that and other landscaping topics. Here, the Mini X makes quick work of the most vital piece of this entire project, the footers for the retaining walls that will hold back the hillside. So with the segmental block wall, the footer is really the most important part.
Yeah, it's the most important part because you want all that level. Once that gets level, then you can go up easy with
It's
them
just
from
stacking
there.
blocks.
Yep, it's easy from there.
But you guys actually have to do 2 footers. You got to do the footer on this wall here and then the footer on this wall.
And then we got to do this too. So we got 4 footers to be.
Hey, you sound like, it's a lot of wall. When we come back, getting the wall exactly right using careful measurements and some good vibrations. And the crew cuts a hole in the deck for the hot tub, but does it fit? Margie, you nervous yet?
Yes.
Margie's entire backyard has been eroding away, so much that the spa on her deck isn't level anymore because the ground under it is washing away. Crews plan to move the spa to the deck's upper level and sink it into the floorboards, and that means making a big hole. Margie, you nervous yet?
Yes.
This is a very important part of the deck demo. This is the denailing of the old wood. That way, one of these nails doesn't end up in somebody's foot. Safety first. The spa will need to be supported from below by a concrete platform that's partially buried in the ground. The platform will have to line up precisely with the hole in the deck at exactly the right height. Time for a closer look. So how high do you have to build it up?
This is 29 inches. The jacuzzi is going to be 30 inches.
Right there.
And this is 29 inches, right? See that?
Boom, just like that.
Yeah.
And then once you get the tub in here, I guess you can put the level on it. And if you need to adjust it a little.
Yes.
Why are you handing me the show?
Well, while you're down here, you can help.
Soon, the crew is making form boards, staking them into position, mixing concrete, and pouring it out to begin construction of the spa platform. After the concrete hardens, the forms are removed and cinder blocks are mortared into place and stacked to start gaining some height. Meanwhile, the guys working on the retaining wall are using a vibratory plate compactor. It pounds the ground with 6,000 vibrations a minute, leaving behind a smooth, flat, solid foundation for the wall. Then a mixture of gravel and pulverized granite is dumped in. It's called crush and run, and it gives the block a firm base that moisture will drain through. As the crew works, they're meticulous about keeping this first row of block absolutely level. If it's off by just a fraction of an inch, the rest of the wall will be off too, and get worse the higher it goes. A few days later, the massive wall is finished, and Margie is impressed.
Wow, Emily, look at the wall. How cool is that?
But she's also looking ahead to what's coming up next.
Once the hot tub is moved, this is going to be really good.
We've got a real challenge on our hands this morning. The hot tub's trying to find its new home. Originally, it was here. It's going up top, so we're halfway there. It's really heavy. It's awkward. We've got a tight spot. Luckily, there's no water in it. Hopefully, it fits. Just before the big move, Margie makes one final inspection under the deck.
Wow.
You can see I got everything in layers.
Yeah.
See, so this is not going to go anywhere. Well, the big challenge right here is try to drop, the jacuzzi right here. To sit on this thing right here.
No, we're going to elevate it down. We don't want to drop it.
Okay.
All right, it's halfway in. Got a little bit of geometry, a little bit of physics involved here, but we've got a lasso on this side. They're gonna put another rope in here and just kind of try to drop it in there as easy as possible. And it does have a little bit of water in it from the rain last night, so I was mistaken. This is the old heave-ho right here. Woo! Perfect fit.
Woo-hoo, the tub is down.
What do you think about the new home of the hot tub?
Is great.
It
Look,
feels better up there.
Oh.
This was not the spot for it. That's the spot for it.
no, I wish I had done that right from the beginning.
When we come back, using every landscape trick in the book to stop erosion, including the right ground covers.
It's got a good root system too, and that'll kind of run out into these areas and tie all this dirt in.
And a work of art with an important job to do, created with a chainsaw.